Welcome. Good evening. This is Check That Post podcast with another episode. I am your host, Jen, and these are my co-hosts,
Marjorie,
Queen,
and Christina.
And we are delighted to spend a little time with y'all tonight. Today's topic was a topic that I felt that we really should have got into, but because our guests couldn't make it, we're just gonna get into some stuff that we had talked about and try to entertain y'all. Probably tough. All right, how was y'all day? Because mine was long and drawn out, and I'm glad to be home. How was your day?
mine was very productive. I got a lot of stuff done. I had a good day. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a good day too.
Mine was pretty long as well, but it's over for the most part, so I'm glad to be here.
And I don't know about y'all, but I'm glad it's Friday. It's my Friday anyway. So we're gonna get into some conversations. Anybody have anything on their mind that they want to discuss before I get into some topics that we hadn't talked about?
Mental health matters.
It does.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, we need more and more of the mental health going on in our families.
Stable mental.
Yeah, it's saving us. That we need those people out there. Kudos to all the counselors out there
Yes, absolutely.
that are taking their time out to help, balance everybody that is willing to have the chemical imbalances checked in their lives. So, but yes, kudos to the counselors. They have a hard job of getting people to just follow along with the program.
Right.
Because some people feel that they know more than the counselors, and so the counselors have gone to school. And they have learned a lot, and even if they do have their own family members that they have seen things through, but they're really out here to help us to get on the right track and have better mental thinking.
Right.
I'm glad you said that because I had a moment where I guess I thought I knew more than a therapist before. So, yeah. So
Had a reality check there.
I mean, yeah, because I'm like, I know I'm not the only one, that done had that moment. It's hard to see. I guess for people that's like me, we want to like plan everything or want to, I guess, have control over everything, and sometimes we don't, and we be like, why you ask me these type of questions, or where is this going? And you think you're wasting your time, but
I be feeling like the main question be like, how can you tell me how I am or what I am and you don't even know me?
Right.
Like when it comes to the therapist side of it. Because I mean that was my thought when I first thought of it. Like, how can I sit in front of this person and I'm basically telling you, who I am, and then you're observing whatever I say. But I could be telling you a false narrative, giving you a false narrative of how I think or how I feel, just because I already know that you're gonna build your narrative off of what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what can people think, or what advice can you give to people that would make them think that, okay, this therapist is really gonna help me realize, the issues that I have, even though they don't know me. They only know what I tell them or what I show them.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, though. They don't know you, so you're getting an unbiased opinion from somebody with a sound mind. So if you going to therapy, you need to put all of it out on the table.
Mhm.
Tell the truth. Because
Right,
you ain't going
right.
to get no help if you don't tell the truth.
Right.
That's true.
Exactly.
And even if you feel dumb or like you just talking too much or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they just trying to get enough stuff out of you to be able to work with something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
The key is to release.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Let
trust the
go
process.
and
Right.
release.
Trust
Yeah.
the process.
Mhm.
Yeah. And also, there are some therapists out there that are gifted, and so that helps a whole lot when they are already gifted, and so they can pull from what they see
Mhm.
on the inside. You may not understand it,
Right.
but they can see it, and they begin to pull it out of you, so that
In those
you can-
areas.
those areas, so
I like
that you
them
can
type
become
of therapists.
you can become whole, because
Yeah.
a lot of the times, you can go to a therapist and they may not be your type of therapist,
Right.
but if you have somebody that's gifted,
Right.
cherish that person, because
Mhm.
they ain't getting nothing out of telling you lies or
Right.
misleading you in any
Right.
way. They want to help you
Mhm.
get through the next phase of your life.
Yeah, and why they gonna waste their time? Like,
Right.
I'm a big believer in don't waste my time and I won't
Yeah.
waste yours.
Right.
So ain't nobody gonna sit there and listen to all your issues and all your problems just because.
Right.
Like,
Yes,
no,
yes.
they're not
And
gonna do
people
that.
might say it's about the money, but it can't be about the money. Because if it was just about the money, they would just take your money and let you go on about your way. But they want you to keep coming back, because
Right.
they want to see you heal.
Right.
They want to see you get back
Yeah.
whole. They want to see you get to the person that you want to be, or
Right.
the level that you want to be within yourself.
Mhm.
So, if it was just about the money, then, they'll just be telling you what you want to hear,
Mhm.
and they'll send you on about your way and
Right.
keep you coming back, so they could just keep getting your money.
Mhm.
But if you see progress, then yeah, that might be somewhere you need to be. But if you don't see any progress, number one, it might be
You don't find that suspicious?
number one, it might be you.
Right.
But number two, it just might not be your therapist. It
Yes.
might just be, one that you tried. It didn't work.
Mhm.
Try
Try.
somebody else.
Try.
Or you
Try
might be
another
rushing the
institution.
process.
Right. Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm.
And another thing is just something that was on my mind, because we as people sometimes prejudge a person that's going through something, and it's easy to do. You may do it and not even realize you're doing
Right.
it,
Absolutely.
but it's not our place to tell somebody how fast they need to get over a situation that happened in their life.
yeah.
Everybody's different.
Right.
Because you went through it and you got over it like that, that don't mean I'm gonna get over it like that.
Right.
I'm gonna take my time, and you're not gonna tell me how fast to get over it.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody
Your
heal
trauma
different.
is not my trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need 50 years, 30 years, 100 years, I'm gonna take all that time. Give me my
we
time.
hope it don't take that long.
Yeah, we hope.
But
that long.
We hope, but you know what? Sometimes you be going through something, and you don't even realize that you've been traumatized. Like you close your mind
Until
to
after
it,
all those years,
you shut it
passed.
down, and then something will happen in the future, and something
triggers
caused you
that.
to trigger, and your mind go right back to it as though it's happening right then.
Right.
So just take your time, do what you got to do to get through it, get past it, and keep it moving. But
Yeah.
don't let nobody tell you how fast to deal with your trauma.
Right.
That's your trauma. Okay?
Yeah.
But the number one thing is having in your mind and in your heart that you are going to deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You gotta
You will
have that
get
mindset.
over it.
Right.
You will get past
Yeah.
You
it.
can't go into it thinking that, oh, this person ain't gonna be able to help me. Like, no matter what they say, I'm still gonna be like this, or I'm still gonna feel like that.
Right.
You gotta have a positive mindset going into the thing. Whatever you wanna achieve. Huh?
Maybe an open is better.
Yeah, open mind.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's hard to have positive when you dare to get help to get a positive mindset. You gotta just be open. Just trust the journey.
Yeah, that's right.
And another thing, when I started therapy, I was expecting them to basically tell me what to do, because obviously what I was choosing to do was jacked up. but they ain't gonna do that either.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna support you in whatever decision
You
want to
make,
make.
yeah.
You know? So they're not gonna be there trying to control your life. And, well, they're not supposed to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe some people be doing it, but they ain't supposed to be.
Right.
I will say, just to touch off what Queen said on the therapists that are, specialized in certain areas. Like, most, I ain't gonna say most, there are some therapists that I do know that are specialized in certain areas that they have experienced themselves. So it's things that they have gone through. They've gone through, some of the same experiences that you may have experienced. And it's things that they have used themselves to help them along the process, or, to help them get over it or overcome those triggers and all that stuff. It's certain specialists that are specialized in these specific things. So when you are considering a therapist, you want to make sure that they are specialized in, whatever area it is that you need help, or that you are seeking the guidance in. So I did want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like going to a hairstylist. What kind of style you want?
Right.
You want locks? Okay, all she do is blowouts.
Right.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Gotta do the therapist thing the same way.
But the strange thing is that a lot of the times we will sit around with our girlfriends and tell them things. We'll go to the hairdresser and be in the chair just telling everything, and they're not our therapist.
Exactly.
And we become comfortable with that. And a lot of the times, we'll hear it again. And so it's easier for them to be able to repeat a conversation and the name of the person that said it. But when we go to the therapist, they are bound, by the duty of,
they
keeping
can't repeat that.
Yes, and so, but when we're at the beautician, wherever we are on the phones, relaxing, and we'll tell our friends, everything, but a lot of the time they don't have the answers for us.
Right.
That my girlfriend gonna agree with me. That's it right there. He did it, she did it. She gonna tell me all of that stuff most of the time.
And there's no confidence.
That's it, right? And so, but a lot of times she's not gonna be that one that's gonna tell me, okay, sis, I hear what you're saying, but this is the way you need to, what you need to do. This is the way you need to go on certain, topics that I'm talking about. So.
Or this is what you can do to
what
contribute.
You can do, right? Exactly.
Or what you can do to change the situation.
And so she's may not tell me what I need to hear in those areas where that therapist, they're gonna be right straight to the point. You need to do this. This is what's gonna help you. And then when you come back, they're gonna ask you the same thing. Did you work on this?
Hold you accountable.
Hold you accountable. Exactly.
And which is what they're supposed to do. Because they want to see you better.
Yes.
Got your best interests at
heart.
Well, I think I said the last episode that we would try to catch up on the Dear Jean letters that we hadn't been able to get into, because sometimes the conversation gets so good and we just keep going and going and going. So this one, this Dear Jen, Dear Jen, I can't say that I'm struggling with my faith because I know God is real. But where do my problem lies is on the focusing aspect. How can I keep myself from being caught up in this everyday world that we live in? I'd be lying if I said I thought about or praised God every second of the day. I just want it to become natural. But I lack the focus because as soon as I'm bored, I'm done for the day. So, anybody got anything they want to add to that?
I mean, I think everybody kind of go through that. I mean,
Sorry.
I think like kind of what we was talking about last week. Sometimes people make having faith deeper than what it should be. It's about the simple stuff sometimes. You know, go outside, take a breath of fresh air.
Right.
Say, God, thank you.
Right.
This scenery is beautiful. You know, if you got a good view. But
Even if it's raining.
right.
That's
Yeah,
still
you
a
got
good
it.
thing.
Think about your blessings coming down.
Right. Absolutely.
Or well, I've been getting slapped
Yeah, I
with
think
this.
some
But when you eating, say your blessing, say thank you. You know, say sorry if you take a bite first. You know.
No, for real though, because people out here that don't get a meal. They don't get 3
That's
meals
true.
a day, you know, or 2 meals a day. How many times you eat? You know, it's people that don't even get 1 meal a day. So you know, you
He's
gotta be
saying all
grateful
things
for it all.
give thanks.
Right.
That's
Get in the
Absolutely.
bed. Thank you for my
Absolutely,
bed.
because it's people that don't have one. Absolutely.
That's
Margie.
seriously, I do.
For
Be like,
real.
God, I thank you for my bed.
Right.
And I'll be like moving all kinds of ways over because I'm like, I'm just so happy to lay down and being off my feet, you know? Yeah, these legs, they done stood for a very number of years. Yes, I'll be like, yes, I'm grateful to have, you know, a bed. You know, my mattress does me well. You know, so I'm excited about my mattress when I get ready to lay down. You know, especially when my head hit the pillow. Oh my goodness, and I can do.
Yes.
My eyes closed, I'm asleep just like that. Oh my goodness, I get excited.
Look, that's a blessing right there in itself. To be able to close your eyes and get some rest.
And get some rest.
Okay? Like,
Be
'cause you
thankful
can
for the
lay
little
down.
things.
You can lay down and you can be restless as ever. You can
That's
lay down
true.
for 8 hours straight
Yeah.
and be restless for 6 of them 8 hours.
Yes.
And really not get no rest. So,
Or somebody bothering you,
Right.
you know, calling mama,
Yes.
you know, stuff like that, you know, when you waking you up out of
Right.
your good peace.
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Next time somebody be mad.
Yeah,
Mess with people I'm trying to sleep.
Man.
But as for your focus, we just went off on a tangent. We did. As for your focus, just shoot.
Find something
Get
positive
some
to
rest.
focus on.
Get
You
some
know,
rest.
find something positive to focus on because there's so much that you can do that will keep you from being bored. Even if it's just let me sit down and write Auntie a letter, you know, and tell her how you know you're so happy to be a part of her life, or make a note that you're gonna send somebody some flowers or something. You know, we can do many of things, and when we don't have things planned to do, we can become bored. So we have to get up running in the morning, trying to find something that we can do that be a positive thing in somebody else's life, or something positive for us. You know?
Right.
Talking about a focus aspect. What I do is I try to think about somebody that's got it worse than me. And that kind of help draws me in to be thankful and to be grateful for what I have. And just give it your best shot. You know, if you believe in God, ask Him to give you focus. We ask Him for everything else, so ask Him for focus.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
I would say my suggestion would be I'm in this little group, and one of the things that we are, you know, one of the young ladies in the group shared was, you know, you got to give yourself grace. So, you know, whoever this is, you know, they're saying that, you know, whenever they're in the word or whatever, you know, it might be something that's like, you know, you might be talking about Job, you know, and you might not care too much about Job's story, so you get a little restless and you're like, "Ooh," you know, so so my suggestion would be, because this young lady, her suggestion to us was just to take little breaks. So like take snacks and take breaks. So like, you know, take a little bit, you might read a couple, maybe read verse 1 through 15 and then take a break, you know, and then maybe the next day or maybe, you know, you might do that early in the morning before you get ready for work, you know, read a couple verses, and then, you know, when you come back home, you get off, read the rest of, you know, the whole chapter 1 or whatever, you know, just give yourself breaks, give yourself grace, because we know that we're human, you know, our attention span ain't as high as we would like it to be.
Right.
So, you know, just take little snacks, you know, just get a little bit here, get a little bit there. If your attention span is not where it needs to be, to where you can take in, you know, a extended period of learning, basically. So.
And if you have problem, like you go to sleep every time you open a good book, read a little bit, sleep a little bit, read a little bit, sleep a little bit. Like, don't make it complicated.
Right, absolutely.
And they also have a Bible app that'll read the Bible to you. And I found a feature that will change the voice of the person who's reading. So that was cool. Because when a guy would do it, something about his voice, I couldn't really catch on to every word. I changed that guy voice to a lady's voice, and I'm like, okay, I could listen a little better. So you could do that too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, we have another. Dear Jen. Dear Jen, I seem to have lost my way with God. I can't pray, I don't read the Bible, and I don't pay tithes. I do believe there is a God, and I also believe the Bible is real. However, I don't believe God needs money. Money is a physical tool used by mankind to function on earth. Tithes was under the old law. Can you explain why preachers expect us to pay tithes today? All about the almighty dollar.
I feel like people need to use their common sense a little bit. Everything in this world costs money.
Right.
So if it's on your heart to pay, then pay. I mean, God requires whatever we do, do it with love. So if you don't love to do it, then by all means, keep your money.
Right.
Right, and God don't need our money.
Right.
He needs our obedience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you got to pay if you're going to church.
Right.
You got to pay
if
for the
you want to go
upkeep.
to the building.
Just
and
like
you
at your
wanna
house, you pay
spend that
rent or
time.
mortgage.
Exactly. If you want
So
to
if you
come
wanna
to
keep
this place
going.
once or twice or 3
Right.
times a week, y'all got to keep the lights on. The light bill God ain't going to pay the light bill.
Right.
Okay.
It's a whole
You know?
community.
Right, exactly.
Everybody
Like, y'all
chipping
gotta
in.
come together and y'all gotta pay the light bill. That's how the light bill gonna get paid. So, you know, nobody's asking you to pay the pastor light bill.
Right,
You paying the
right.
light bill for the church, and you know, whatever else you give,
Yeah.
you give. You know, so you gotta have somewhere. If you want to come somewhere to worship, you want to have somewhere to come to. So you're gonna have to give something.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And if you still feel some type of way, compare what God asked you to give versus what the government asked you to give.
Right. Absolutely.
How much is the government really giving you that? I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
I think they do 20%, or they doing more now.
50.
What the
That's 20%.
That's
you know,
really what it
and God
feels like.
only asking for our 10. You know, but mostly it's for the upkeep. You know, as stated, you know, of the church, and so,
Right.
you know, we could be outside in tents. You know, in the cold, sometime in the hot weather where there's no air conditioners and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, let's not sweat the small
Right.
stuff.
Exactly.
Let's just, you know, look at the blessings of being a blessing, because through your giving, whether you looking at it gets given a tithe or helping somebody, look at the things that God really does in return for you, those blessings that He allowed to come your way, and that He is able to, raise up somebody that, will use their powers and their influences and their resources just to bless you in your time of need.
All right, we got time for one more. Okay, this was from around the 1st of April that I got this letter. So I'm sorry we're just getting to it. Like I said, the conversation's just to be getting too good. Dear Jim, last month I found out my husband of 13 years has been cheating on me for 10 of those years. How? We are together for the majority of the time outside of work. There is no indication that I can think of. We have 4 children together and happily married, or so I thought. He takes care of everything. So I never imagined he was unhappy with our life. I'm hurting bad, and I'm still trying to process this devastating news. I found out when we met her at the grocery store, she has a 10-year-old son that is the spitting image of my husband. I can't breathe. He's asking for time. What should I do? Please keep me anonymous.
Leave. No, I'm just.
I mean, that's tough, but
Yeah.
Definitely, stick by your man. That was 10. That's a 10-year-old. That's 10 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Talk to your man. Figure out. What was what, and that's a long time. Now if the situation's still around or still evolving, then yes, my advice would be to, put yourself first and leave. But that's a long time ago. And, I'm pretty sure you guys were in a different place 10 years ago than you are now. Just talk to your mate, get on the same page with him and see what's what.
Well,
sometimes, from what I hear other people say, sometimes people claim they don't cheat because they're unhappy. Sometimes they just want their cake and want to eat it too. Like, they just want extra. Even if it's for no reason. Like, you can be doing everything at home. They still want something over there.
Right. Yeah.
You don't find that suspicious?
Never satisfied.
yes, we did.
Right, yeah. So don't blame it all, Don't take on all that guilt. Like, what did I do?
Yeah,
you may have not done anything.
Right, absolutely.
He's the common denominator.
Right.
Well, I think my personal opinion, before you come for me, I think that cheating, I don't believe, first of all, that it's a mistake. That's my opinion. I believe you do it with intent. Second of all, I'm sure you done dealt with it by now. I feel for you for having to have to go through something like that.
Absolutely.
Third of all, if it were me, and I can only say what I would do, well, then really I can't say, so quote unquote, what I would do because I never experienced that situation. But my mind telling me what I would do, I'd be gone, because not that there's no forgiveness in me, but I just have zero tolerance for something like that. So for me, myself, and I, but you do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you love him. You reaching out, obviously, for help. So you do what's best for you. That's all I got to say on that.
Queen.
Yes.
Well, there are some mistakes that be made. There are some intents that happened that wasn't intended. But if you and your spouse have been talking, and they ask you, work some things out, I think you should. I think that you guys should go to counseling, and I think that you should start rebuilding some trust that that happened, that you lost there, because somewhere along the line you lost it. Yes, that is awful that you found out many years later, but a lot of the times when you find out years later, it can be devastated, but not as devastated as when it happened like yesterday. You know, and it's because they were so smooth at hiding it, you know, and so by the time you are upset, but you a lot of times may not know which direction to take it, because now there's a lot of unanswered questions and trying to find out everything, because like with women, we a lot of time mix love and sex together, you know. We start saying stuff like, when did you stop loving me? Oh, you love her. You know, because you did this. A lot of times it ain't even about that. And it could be, as stated before, is where you were at that particular time, or where he was at that particular time, that something, you know, took place in his life. But yeah, I think that you should sit down and talk about it. This is at a time that, you know, if you really want to stay in the marriage, ask God for guidance, for help. And I don't think that you should punish him. I think that this is something that happened in the life that that the both of you can really change things the way you feel. It could make your marriage better, and also you'll have that knowledge to be able to help somebody else to not give up on their marriage. You know, because we all do a lot of different things, being whether we married or single. We've had things to happen in our life. Like, I don't want nobody bringing up my past, you know, or if I got with somebody and the first thing he want to look at is I had a past, you know, which a lot of us, you know, when we go into a relationship, we do have that, you know. But I strongly say you can work it out. You know, it's not a life or a death situation. If you got kids involved, think about those kids.
But at the end of the day, it's your choice.
It's your
how you
choice
feel.
at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with punishing him, honestly. Because he was wrong for that. And he need to be held accountable.
Maybe so, but it's not. It's not a get back.
But roll that back. Let's roll that back. Let's roll that back. Because if you're going to stay in that situation, you ain't going to forget it. And we don't expect that. But you got to let it go.
You got to forgive.
You got to forgive and let it go. You can't throw that thing up every time he do something wrong or make you
I
mad.
wouldn't say punish him, but just hold him accountable. Because he got to know that you can't do this again and it's going to be okay. I might let it go this time. But that don't mean that if you do
keep
it again,
that
this ain't
I
gonna
feel like
keep
that
on
is
happening.
the punishment, is holding him accountable.
No, because he doesn't need to be. I wouldn't want nobody to be. Where you been? What you been doing? Who you been with? I don't want that, you know. Or if you don't want to be bothered, well, I don't know where you been.
Because I'm going to tell you, trust is everything. If you ain't got trust, you ain't got nothing.
That's it.
Right. You got to have that trust.
Right.
And how's she going to trust you again? Like,
But I mean, like, when I say, like, holding them accountable, that's, like, that one thing, like you just said in particular. Like, I don't want to have to ask you where you been, where you going. I want you to be able to come to me and be like, hey, babe, I'm going here. I'm finna go do this. Make me feel like I ain't finna go and cheat on you again because I know I did this to you before and I don't want to hurt you again. If you can't make me feel like that, it ain't no purpose of us doing this again because I'm never going to trust you.
but be real, y'all, as women, and you have something like that, that's devastating.
It
because
is.
you putting your all into this person, and
Absolutely.
you feel like he just throwed it in your face. He just throwed it back at you.
It is.
And you know,
And
and
it's
then to
making
keep
you
it
feel
hidden,
like you did something
right?
wrong.
And to
What
keep
did
it
I do?
hidden. So how's she gonna trust him again?
Right.
But okay, ladies, you know, it can be dealt with. It can be something that you went through, and it's something that you can get over,
Absolutely.
and then you can come out smelling like a rose.
Mm-hmm.
In
You
my
know,
own
and-
timing.
Right.
It may be in there, but long as you come out, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Long as you come out,
It's definitely
and
gonna
it
be
didn't
in your
cause
own
you to
time.
lose. It didn't cause you to lose your mind, because you could have got a weapon and did something crazy,
Right.
but you didn't handle it that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm just saying, you know, we go through some stuff, you know, and so we have some of the same life situations that has hit us, but we handled them different.
Right.
Right.
But
So-
definitely hold them accountable. Don't sweep it up under the rug.
No.
Don't act like you ain't see what you saw.
Or like
Right.
it didn't affect you.
And don't let him
Right.
tell you, oh baby, you ain't see what you saw.
Yeah, no gaslighting
No
allowed.
Yeah, my eyes saw everything. Everything.
Mine will come clean.
Yeah,
I
just
know what I
something.
saw.
Yeah, I saw what I saw. Yeah, because people will make you feel that way, that you didn't see, you
Right.
didn't hear
It ain't
what
even
you
like that.
heard or saw.
And I
you
ain't
know?
gonna lie, if I was in that position, I would have got mad when he said, let's give me some time. You done had 10 years worth of time. Dang, how much you ain't playing out your statement by now?
No, though, about the whole 10 years? He didn't say that, though, did
It didn't say.
he? Yeah, so he might have didn't know the whole 10 years. That
But
was
he
his
knew he
child.
cheated.
Exactly.
That's true.
So he knew there was a possibility.
That's true.
Right.
But it could have
He was
been.
just waiting on.
Y'all know how men do, like, it could be a time.
waiting
We was on a
time to get
break.
caught.
Y'all know
Time's
y'all.
up,
They
baby.
love to use that. Like we was on a break,
I got more
you know,
time.
for about 6 months,
Yeah.
and that's when that happened.
Yeah, they'll
Or
say that too.
whatever.
Yeah.
You finna be on another
Yeah, we
break.
were broken
I'm
up.
gonna break
and,
you.
Yeah, but even if there was a breakup, it it should have been said, "Hey, I did this
Right.
and I did that when we was
Absolutely.
broken up," because
Right.
it does bring a lot of friction into the home, and so that's not a good sign. So,
Right.
whether we keep it a secret or not, it's we're not being honest and faithful to
Right.
the other individual, like or what she don't know or what he don't know
what's
won't hurt
done,
them.
done,
But actually, it
something
is
like-
because
Right.
I've had people in my life that knew stuff was going on, in my relationship, but I felt that they were laughing at me, or she don't know, and when I've learned that these was friends of mine
Wow.
that knew but never said anything, it bothered me because I'm like, I felt like they were laughing at me, and it didn't feel good.
Honestly, though, like it could not be that they're laughing at you. It could be that, it could be a number of things. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
you're
could have
right.
come to you before and you didn't take it serious, so they're like, oh, I ain't telling her nothing else no more.
That could be,
They could have, been like,
But
oh,
not
I ain't
on
finna
that.
get involved. I ain't finna get involved in nobody else's
Yeah,
situation,
could've been.
because then if they tell you and then you tell the husband, oh, she told me this and she told me that, then the husband looking at you like you crazy every time you come around. Like, I done been in situations like that, so.
Well, most
If
time the
I'm cool
husband gonna
with
say, you gonna
somebody-
take her word over mine.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
So then it's like you gotta choose between your friend or your husband. So it's like it be a number of reasons why people don't say nothing, and they can be your friend
Yeah.
too, but they can be like, oh, well, I know this girl. I know how she gonna react if I tell her this. I want to keep her as a friend. or I do want to tell because I don't care what the husband gonna think. I'm finna tell my friend.
Exactly.
Like, but everybody don't think like
Think
that.
like that.
So what's the best way to handle a situation like that? Like you walking up and you see your friend's guy with somebody
You
else.
tell it.
But do you check the guy?
No, that ain't your
Why he-
place. You
I
tell
wouldn't
the
check him,
girl, the
but
friend. You
I would let him know
let
I
her
see
know.
him.
Right.
Oh,
That's
he
what
gonna
I
know.
mean. Like,
Oh, he gonna know.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
I
I
see
mean.
you. What you doing over there? You know you married.
You like, what's
Girl,
up,
call
Charlie?
it out. What's up,
No,
Charlie?
y'all can't handle that like that. You know what I'm
Where
saying?
Ashley at? Yeah, how Ashley doing?
I mean, I never
She
had
at
that
home with the
moment. I
baby.
just want to know, like, what's the right thing to do, you know, for
Yeah.
people who do have that moment? Like, are you
Yeah.
supposed to say something or
Nah,
just, like, turn a blind eye to you?
I'm being
get your phone
ratchet,
and-
right?
No, you can't be ratchet. You can't be ratchet.
You can be
I'm being
ratchet.
It's really on how you and
Looking
that
out for
person's
your girl.
relationship is, though,
Yeah.
for real. Because if it's my mama and it's my mama husband,
Now
I'm
you already
I'm
know.
coming up, I'm confronting the whole situation. I might hit her and you. It's gonna be a whole nother situation, you know. But if it's my homegirl, husband, or boyfriend, or whatever, I might react a little different, you know. So it just depends on the situation. That's with me, though.
I know I've seen on a movie before where they'd be like, either, like, let's say they saw the guy with somebody else. So the person would walk up to the guy, they'd be like, you either tell her or I'm going to tell her. I kind of like that response.
Yeah, like I'll give you time
Right.
to let her know. If you don't tell her, then I'll just go ahead and let her know. 'Cause
Right.
we ain't gonna keep this no secret.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect that.
I like that.
So is that like you say you just walking up on somebody and they're with somebody that you want to create that scenario like that, or,
No, I'm
or
gonna have
are
to
you
see
talking
something
about?
there.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Some
to know.
evidence.
You gotta
Yeah, okay.
know,
Like
Yeah.
holding
know what it
hands,
is.
Oh, okay,
kissing,
okay,
you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I ain't
You
just
can't
gonna
just
go
be
off
making no
no.
assumptions.
Okay,
Right.
That's what I want to make
touch
sure.
each other. They
We ain't
didn't
making
kiss.
no
They didn't do
assumptions.
nothing. Like
Yeah.
no,
You know.
it
You
ain't
got
worth
your
telling.
feelings hurt.
It ain't worth telling if they ain't doing nothing suspicious.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
like your husband or your wife might know that you right there with whoever that you with. So what's the point of me coming back telling you something that you already know? So if I don't see nothing that I feel like is disrespectful to your relationship, I'm not finna carry that bone back to you.
Yeah.
But what we see as disrespectful, they may not see that. So you got to
That's
consider
true.
that as well.
That's true, but if I know that person well enough, I'ma know if they feel like that's
Well,
disrespectful.
you already
or
know.
not,
You
so.
know. You know.
Well, with you, it don't matter.
Yes,
so,
yes, you know. I'm gonna be like, bro.
It don't matter what the situation is.
What?
If it's you, that's the whole.
My
Check
sister,
that.
my sister.
We don't check that post.
Where my sister at? Let me call her right now. Sis.
Talk about
You know.
cray. All right, y'all. This has been another good episode of Check That Post podcast. A little impromptu, but it was good. You can follow us on TikTok at Check That Post or Facebook at Check That Post, and on YouTube at Check That Post Pod. Hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you know every time we upload a new episode. Write a digital letter to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. Thank you. Oh, you don't want to do you?
With yours truly, Gentleman Nelson. Joe, the family affair.